Jeremy is this excited because the Avengers trailer just came out.
I was watching the trailer, yes.
And everyone in our production team is very excited about this.
We're all nerds.
We're really excited because the Champions League draw is tomorrow, and us here on Sports Press, we're going to do a mock draw.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we are. We're going to do a mock draw, and then we're going to see if we predicted, hashtag we're going to go viral. Then we're going to touch on Real Madrid, who made their first signing under Zidane 2.0, and then we'll talk a little bit of Europa League and Copa Libertadores action on Sports First that starts right now. Jeremy just suggested that our open should actually be the Avengers music.
It's much more magisterial.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah. Okay, anyway, guys, we're going to get right into our Champions League draw. For those of you that don't know, the 8 teams are set as of right now. Porto, United, Ajax, Juve, Liverpool, Manchester City, Barcelona, and Tottenham are the 8. Tomorrow they will be drawn against each other, and we're going to see what our lucky hands pick. I'll do the first one. Dun, 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 dun. And you guys let us know what would be the craziest draw.
It's a lot of production spent on this.
Ajax. You guys can't see it, but it says Ajax. Oh Jeremy picked the second one. I'll write it in here.
I thought our budget was low.
It's lower than low.
It is low. Manchester City.
Of course they get the cookie draw.
You know what? I love that. I love that, actually.
Okay.
Ajax to take down City. I like it.
Ooh. Well, the Manchester City are teenagers in the competition, don't forget. Porto. We're going to be touching Porto later on in the show.
You want me to predict who this is? Do you want me to predict it before I even pull it? Before
United?
I even say it? Manchester United.
I agree too. Dun, 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 dun.
No. Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Which actually is a really good tie. I think that's actually a really good tie. That could be a very entertaining tie.
You guys let us know which one you're most excited about on the Sports First draw.
Apparently there's nobody here.
Yeah.
It's
no,
just
it's
us.
refreshing.
We're doing
here
this.
It is, rejected.
We're doing this to
Barcelona! This is going to be Barca Juve. It's going to be Barca Juve.
Liverpool. Let's go. Liverpool.
Don't
Don't be Man United. Ooh,
yeah!
Juventus! Look at that.
It needs to be the final.
I know. A lot of people saying that would be a great final. Yeah. And last but not least,
you're gonna be able to tell just who's at the left.
Manchester United.
Well, who's left?
Liverpool.
Who's left?
Ooh.
Liverpool.
What a partidazo that would be.
There's too many good games too early.
What do you mean?
You got
Liverpool.
Barca, Liverpool, Man United.
See, it's not fixed. It's not fixed. It was actually Liverpool.
Okay, guys, so our Champions League draw as it stands, for you guys to see it, Ajax versus City, Porto versus Tottenham, Barcelona versus Juventus, and then United versus Liverpool. This is photo proof. If this happens tomorrow, we were not involved. But looking at this draw, what do you think could be possibly the juiciest game that could happen?
Barca Juve.
Really?
Barca Juve, obviously. I think
Juicier
that's the game people want in the final, but United, Liverpool,
Or United City, a Manchester derby.
Only in name.
I don't like all Premier League ties at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard when there's 4 Premier League teams, but I'm not a fan of the all Premier League tie just because it's a continental competition, so you want it to be, you want it to have teams from different countries playing each other. That being said, I mean, Liverpool did United not that long ago, and Manchester City play United coming up. So you could have City and United playing each other in the Manchester derbies in 2 different competitions, and that is straight fire.
Paula Santos here reminding us that Barca Juve would be Messi versus Ronaldo yet again.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the only storyline that people care about.
I mean,
I mean, it's, the way that they've played.
Radu Marinescu saying Tottenham is the weakest team remaining. Now, interesting topic, Radu. Who do you think is the weakest team out of the 8 remaining?
Based on what I've seen, I agree with that.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Weaker than a Porto, weaker than maybe an Ajax.
Porto are sneaky good. Porto are sneaky good. It's like 03-04 Mourinho. You know what I mean? Like, they're sneaky. Nobody really knows what to expect from Porto. I wouldn't be surprised to see Porto get to the semifinals. If they come up against a team like Tottenham, I like them to go through versus Spurs there. I think a Porto-Ajax would be a really good tie as well. Just because you've got 2 teams that really are kind of underdog teams taking each other on.
Wouldn't you like to see both of them in the next round? So
but then you have the chance that both of them get eliminated. Right? With a Porto-Ajax tie, at least one of them is going to get to the last 4.
You're absolutely right. Ram KC saying United versus Porto, Barcelona versus Liverpool, which would be interesting.
That would be good too.
Ajax versus Tottenham, Tottenham, and City versus Juventus. That's like that's two opposite styles of play coming head to head. That one could be interesting too.
I'd love to see Cristiano Ronaldo undo
tear up Guardiola.
Yeah. Tear up Guardiola's plans. Tear up his plans. I mean, we talked about this on the Extra on Monday night, just about the situation that Juve was in with Atletico Madrid and the way that Atletico were ready to defend the lead, but the X factor was Cristiano Ronaldo. That's why they brought him. And Ronaldo did not disappoint. He is the greatest player in Champions League history. And
the facts say that. That's not opinion.
Just the way that he rises to that occasion, he's on it now. Now, you know, we've criticized him because his goal count has been lower. You know, he hasn't played with Juve, but he himself says it's harder to score in Serie A than it is in La Liga, which I think is a valid point. Defense in Serie A is something that's a little bit different than in La Liga, but I think that he's on it now. He's feeling it now.
Moises Choto Jr. saying, I'd love to see Man City versus Juve. Bazir Mohammadi saying, United versus United. Cheeky. Not possible, but cheeky. I don't know what that means. Alfonso Forero, would anyone be surprised if we see Barcelona-Porto? Are you insinuating that Barcelona get an easier draw? Please clarify, Alfonso. Radu Marinescu, you will have one all-Premier League matchup tomorrow. I think so, too. The odds are just in that favor.
Yeah, half the field is a Premier League team. Correct. I mean, what might be actually a little bit of sweet justice is to have two all-Premier League ties.
So you only get two
Premier League teams in the semis versus all four. That won't happen. But
Johnny Glass arguing that Porto is the weakest, Ajax is the dark horse. I think probably people will interchange those depending on who you speak to. But Tottenham, not one to. I think
Porto's level of consistency, I think, is higher than with Ajax. So that's the thing for me, is that I don't disagree. They're both the underdog teams moving forward. But
okay, two questions for you. We're going to start with, who do you think are the favorites?
Barcelona.
And then who do you think is actually going to win it?
Barcelona.
Really?
Yeah. I think Barcelona are just, I mean, the way they turned it on versus Lyon, you know what I mean? Like they can flip that switch, and it's just, there's 5 goals for you. You know what I mean? It's just.
So you think in a head-to-head, Barcelona will be
Barcelona, the biggest team, the only thing that's going to stop Barcelona is Barcelona. That's it. I don't think there's any team out there that's strong enough that could. I mean, yes, anything can happen on any given day, but I think if you were to take Barcelona versus any one of those teams, I would say at least 8 times out of 10, Barcelona's going to win in a one-off game.
Okay, and you guys let us know who you think your favorites are, and then who you guys think will win. Speaking of Barcelona, a little bit of
that doesn't mean I want them to win. I just want to clarify that.
Who do you
that doesn't mean I want
win?
them to win. But I'm using this thing that's in the skull here. I have to use it from time to time, and that's what my brain says. That Barcelona are just the most talented team. They're the team that have the most weaponry, and I just think that for them, they're their own worst enemy when it comes to this tournament. I would like to see Juve.
Okay, interesting.
I would because they've been there so much. I'd like to see them.
Without the bite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool's won, United's won, Barca's won, Porto has won. You know, so there's half that field has already won the Champions League.
Ram Casey agreeing that Barcelona will be champions, and King Rob Robertson also saying Barcelona will win it all. So I think a lot of you are in consensus, but keep writing your comments down and we'll get back to it. Back to the little bit of injury news for you, Barcelona fans, though. Dembele is injured and will be out from 3 to 4 weeks, so just about a month, with a hamstring injury, which I think that maybe he shouldn't have played at all in the Lyon game. He came on, and maybe you should have rested him if you already knew that he had a little bit of a hamstring strain.
It's risk versus reward, right? I mean, it's one of those things, and the hamstrings are tough. They are just one of those injuries that once you get it, if you don't heal it up, it's just gonna keep bugging you. I have a hamstring injury that goes back to my early 20s.
Oh, okay.
It still bothers me.
It just keeps creeping up.
Still bothers me.
Moving along, though, some Real Madrid news making waves today. Zinedine Zidane has made his first signing, or the club has. Eder Militao. He's coming from Porto, so keep an eye on him playing at Porto. He'll be there until the end of the season. But Real Madrid have very smartly activated his buyout clause, because as of right now, it's 50 mil, but in July, it goes up to 75. So they're like, let's lock him in now. They've locked him in for 6 seasons until 2025. And I'm Portuguese, obviously. I watch the Portuguese league, and this is one of the best center backs that I think has ever played in the league. He came to the club as a right back and then turned himself into a center back, and he's Pepe 2.0.
And you know Zidane told Perez, I'm going to save you $20 million.
And what? Yeah, exactly. Do it now.
Yeah, do it now. I'm going to save you $20 million.
And great business for Porto because they bought him for 4 and now turn around and sell him for 50.
It's a fantastic return.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you think are you surprised by the first pickup being a center back?
No, I'm not. I think that Zidane. One of the reasons why he left, reportedly, is because Perez was not down with Zidane's wish list. We didn't think that he needed to do it, and now that Ronaldo's gone, the team is in shambles. You know, there's players that want out and whatnot. I think that now Perez has come to him hat in hand and saying, okay, whatever you need to rebuild this club ASAP,
you have it.
We'll do it. We'll do it no matter what. Give me your list. We'll start buying players tomorrow. And literally tomorrow.
Rob Sullivan with a hilarious comment here. Does Dembele have the same doctors as Gareth Bale? Rob, that is funny. That is a very good comment.
Yeah, good
Please comment more in our comment section. Johnny Glass, when will Valverde give Malcolm a real chance? Interesting. He played such a big role in that first leg, Clásico in the Copa del Rey, and then we just haven't seen him since. So interesting Malcolm situation at Barcelona.
And what do managers, like what do they, it's especially at this high level, when you've got so many good players, how do you
pick and choose?
Like, do you base it on training, or do you base it on their performance in games? Is it oh well, you know, he went hard in training today, so I'm going to give him a run out, or is it just like, you know, when it's so hard to try and determine what it is that goes through a manager's mind when he's picking up some of these players.
Zidane's going to have some of those major decisions today. Someone saying Real Madrid buys Hazard in the summer. A lot of people saying that.
Yeah.
Callan Popov, beIN Sports is a Real Madrid channel. Fact. I think we actually talk about Barcelona just as much as Real Madrid.
What does he mean, a Real Madrid channel?
Not lately.
What does he mean, a Real Madrid channel?
I'm not sure.
Real Madrid's been all the stories lately.
Yeah. Well, Zizou is taking up the headlines. Brendan Fuego, welcome. Real Madrid with Zidane.
Wait a minute, we have La Liga, right?
Yep. We do have La Liga. Cheeky. Jose Mourinho, though, making interesting comments in a very Jose Mourinho fashion. Obviously, he was linked with the Zidane Real Madrid job before Zidane got it back. And he's now saying, no, I never said I wanted it. I never said I would go. I think it's a perfect fit. Do you think that's just him maybe downplaying?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Not winning that one?
Of course it is. You know what? And the reports are that the players are the ones that actually said, we don't want Mourinho back here.
Which isn't shocking.
That's what led Perez basically down the rabbit hole of begging Zidane. Apparently he called Zidane like 25 times. Apparently he just called him and called him and called him until he answered. Like he just called him and called him and called him until he answered. And then, you know, like basically just begged him to come back, and that was the last resort. I mean, Mourinho was the one everybody was talking about, but then when the players come and say, we don't want this guy back, and if you think it's bad now, wait till he comes back and we just basically just walk around for 90 minutes and let other teams do what they want. The players have all the power. When the players come in and say, you know what, this is not a guy that we think is going to be healthy for this dressing room moving forward, then obviously Perez was down to his last name on the list, and it was Zidane. That's not a bad name to have on your list, but taking into account that Zizou, you know, is taking a break from football and trying to, you know, be respectful of that. I think that by last on the list, I mean, that's the last person he wanted to have to call because of the fact that Zizou's trying to, you know, get away from football for a little bit. I'm
getting a little bit off of our topic train, but a lot of you in the comment section are talking about Coutinho. And I think yesterday's match, Luis Suarez setting up Coutinho for that goal that maybe raised a little bit of his confidence was such a nice touch. And a lot of you saying that Coutinho will be key moving forward in the Champions League, deciding how far they go. What do you make of the whole Coutinho situation? Because our people want to talk about it, and you guys are the bosses.
I think that, yeah, I mean, you can't get any level of consistency if you're not consistently playing. And I think that is so important when you're a young player that is a star player that you're trying to continue you're trying to continue to elevate your game. It's kind of counterintuitive that you're brought in for all this money. You know, thousands of fans come to see your debut, and you run out and you juggle the ball for a little bit, you kick a few into the stands, and then you're on the bench. You know, that just doesn't make sense to me. So I think that for any really good player, and Coutinho is a good player, to have any level of consistency, he has to play. So I don't disagree with that. I think that, these sporadic, patchy performances are indicative of how much he's playing. So he plays a good game, but okay, now I'm going to put him on the bench.
Right.
Why?
Well, because I think they're not getting that consistency. But I thought it was great of Luis Suarez to do that, and obviously Messi had a fantastic performance yesterday. But it was great to see that kind of teamwork. That's happening too.
That same thing happens to me every morning.
Alenya needs to replace Coutinho. A lot of you talking about the Coutinho situation. We touched on it, so you're welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Europa League in action today.
Wait, what?
Which matches are you looking forward to? Because I know which one I am, and it's a little bit of a hipster one.
Inter Frankfurt?
Yeah.
That's your hipster?
Yeah, because I was with Eintracht Frankfurt at the Florida Cup in January, and they said that their major, one of their big goals was to do really well in the Europa League, and they did fantastic in the group stage, and it's 0-0, and they could really do it and make it past Inter.
Is Inter a hipster pick?
No, Eintracht Frankfurt.
Right? Yeah, but that's only half the game.
Yeah, but it's still the game.
But is Inter the hipster pick in comparison to Milan?
Well,
no, they're both top clubs in Italy.
And another interesting little tidbit.
Well, hang on. Whoa. Hang on. Top club?
Yeah. Inter and Milan are historic Serie A clubs.
They're historic Serie A clubs.
Okay, that's it.
But what have you done for me lately, Janet?
Slavia Prague and Sevilla.
All right.
Well, yeah, and 2-2 on Sevilla.
We'll continue this afterwards.
Yeah, please, to be continued. The other great matchup, though, today is Arsenal. Arsenal are down 3-1 to Rennes. They could be bye-bye from the Europa League.
But coming off a big weekend win over Manchester United, I think that that's a big boost for Arsenal getting that win over Manchester United, because Manchester United you want to talk about teams that are on the up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. First Premier League loss comes to the Gunners. It's a big boost for them. Arsenal were up for it. They played very well. They were up for that game. So I think Arsenal can turn it around. Whether they will or not, we're still talking about Arsenal. So we'll see.
Mike Fuentes saying Arsenal out. I think that Rennes are going to do it. The Rennes away train is going to do it. Who ran the world?
It's at the Emirates, though. It's at the Emirates.
I know, but I think they're going to do it. Alvaro Tomas saying Inter winning with 2 goals. And our producer is correct. The other big game of the day, Slavia Prague versus Sevilla, 2-2. Sevilla do not do well away from home. They have lost 7 of their last 8 matches away from home across all comps. Like, they are no bueno away.
And giving up 2 away goals is tough.
This is going to be a not so good one for Sevilla, who have historically done so well in the Premier League. But also on our agenda today,
in the Europa League, yeah.
Copa Libertadores action.
Oh yeah, 3 games today.
Yes, Peñarol versus San Jose at 5:50 on English and Spanish. Then Atlético Paranaense versus Jorge Wilstermann at 7:55. Also,
I'm on that game.
You are English
I'm hosting
and Spanish.
that game. I'm hosting that game.
Okay. Yeah. Any little tidbit that we should keep an eye out for?
Both teams are on lengthy Copa winless runs, so it's going to be big. I think you have to go back to 2015 or something last time Wilstermann won away. So it's a big game for both teams. I mean, it's match day 2 of the group stage. Wilstermann with a win can go level at the top with Boca. They drew goalless with Boca in their opening game, which is a good result for them. So it should be a good game between the two.
Absolutely. And then Emelec versus Huracan on Connect 5, so you don't want to miss that. This is a reminder that this was our Champions League draw. Ajax versus City, Porto, Tottenham, Barcelona versus Juve, and United versus Liverpool. If this happens, please add us. And we're going to be geniuses. Tune into tomorrow's
Something I've never been called.
At noon. Yes, you have. We call you genius all the time. And go Avengers, because Jeremy's super pumped. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.